Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a battle of the 100 extra free food as MbL playing as the Lithuanians in red prepares to take on Mr. Yo playing as the Ethiopians in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Lithuanians are a civilization that focuses on their heavy cavalry. Their knights, their cavaliers, their paladins all get a free attack boost for every single relic they collect, all the way up to a maximum of 4 relics for a free +4 attack boost. This feature, by the way, does apply to their unique unit, the Latest, a heavy cavalry unit whose attack actually ignores enemy armor, making it one of the most annoying, hard cavalry units to deal with head-on. Now, to gather those relics, get that free attack boost ASAP. Lithuanian monasteries do work 20% faster than normal, so you can start pumping out monks, exploring the map, gathering those gravity and physics defying very large structures that only monks seem to be able to carry. Well, I guess warrior priests now as well. Well, and then get that +4 attack boost on your heavy cavalry. Now, to support that heavy cavalry, Lithuanian spearman line units and skirmishers do move 10% faster than normal, and both those lines can be upgraded to get extra pierce armor. And to build a robust economy to support your military endeavors, each Lithuanian town center that's built or that you start with does give you 100 free food for free. You'll have seen rather in the beginning of the game that MbL did start with 300 food compared to the usual 200, and the Lithuanian settlement can be harder to raid since you can upgrade your town centers to get +3 range, which in early to mid to maybe even late Castle Age makes them outrange a lot of mangonels, if not all mangonels. Now let's take a look at someone who might want to throw some big, heavy rocks at the Lithuanian town centers. We got Mr. Yo playing as the Ethiopians in blue, a civilization designed to kill its opponents as fast as humanly possible. Lithuanian, my goodness, I'm getting distracted by the synchronized movements of these goats. I don't know what Mr. Yo is doing, but it's very pretty and very distracting. Ethiopian, not Lithuanian foot archers are the fastest firing foot archers in the game. Ethiopian onagers, scorpions, rams, and bombard cannons can all be upgraded to get an even bigger blast radius. And their unique unit, the Shotel warrior, is a lightning fast, incredibly strong, but overall kind of fragile infantry unit that trains in only 4 seconds once you upgrade it to its elite form. Now, to help strengthen its army on the field of battle, both the Shotel warriors of the Ethiopians and their camel units can be upgraded to take 3 less damage from all mounted units. Might be bad news bears for our Lithuanian, whether or not those mounted units are ranged or melee. Now, to support their military endeavors, Ethiopians do get 100 free food and 100 free gold whenever they go up to the next age. So we'll keep an eye on Mr. Yo's coffers at the top right of our screen once he clicks up to Feudal Age. They get the pikeman upgrade free of charge, which saves them about 300 resources the second they hit the Castle Age. And the Ethiopian economy, like the Lithuanian, is harder to raid, or I should say surprise raid, because Ethiopian outposts come with a massive +3 boost to their line of sight. And by the way, don't cost any stone. So there is literally no excuse for Mr. Yo not to dot the map with a whole bunch of those Ethiopian crazy map vision outposts. For now, though, busy pushing the Gazelle. Let's take a look at the bases as both players are heading up. I'm assuming after Loom, we are going to get to see the Roman numeral 2 there. And no, instead we get to see the, I guess, normal number 2. Well, what is the scientific name for just the number 2 that everybody uses? You know how this is like the Roman numeral 2? What is this? The Latin 2? In any event, that's the TC idle time. Mr. Yo racked up a massive 2 seconds as he himself queued up the Feudal Age. Not a bad time for us. Both players at 18 villagers a pop. Take a look at the map. See the attack path. Oh, man, this is a big ol' open battlefield. Forget arena with a closed walls. This is a real arena. This is just a big old open space. I see some extra stone for one player, some extra gold for the other player. Exposed rush distance, not that great, not that long. And so I'm expecting a good fight here. Let's take a look at the resources and see where they're located for our Ethiopian. Stone to the back, gold off to the side, kind of but not really on the attack path. Lemon bushes with the pretty blue butterflies exposed to the front. I think you have to click on them. I'm of course just kidding. That does nothing. Extra gold, extra stone to the forward position, and then a third patch of gold all the way to the top right. And by the way, let's keep an eye on those numbers for Mr. Yo, as his 347 food should jump up to 447 and the 50 gold to 150 gold. There it is. Beautiful feature of the Ethiopians. Let's take a look at MbL's base. Primary gold, nice and secure to the rear. Stone, just like Mr. Yo has his gold off to the side, MbL has his stone off to the side. Both patches of secondary and tertiary gold very exposed to the front. Stone off in the middle of literally nowhere. And neither player really having wood lines that help to wall off their bases. Can you blame these players for preferring rune stones to Arabia lately? I mean, what the hell is this? You might as well just spawn in a desert called Arabia in the middle of nowhere with no forest coverage whatsoever. MbL's entire southern settlement, Mr. Yo's entire northern settlement, completely open to the elements, completely open to raiding, completely open to any kind of attack. For now, though, both players, one going spearman, one going archer. Let's see. When you're always watching the Lithuanians, playing as the Lithuanians, enjoying them, not a bad idea to take a look at where the relics are located vis-a-vis our Lithuanian settlements. He's got one relic nearby, another relic in the center of the map, one kind of in a bit of a little nook, a little bit of a dent in the map. So he's got 3, potentially 4 relics very nearby. That being said, speaking of nearby, Mr. Yo's, they're kind of nearby Mr. Yo's base as well, which is a bit asinine to say, since I just said the rush distance between the two players is not that great. The map is not that big, and so some relics are closer to one, some relics are closer to the other, a few neutral ones as well. And oh man, MbL already walling off the south, walling off the east. Mr. Yo doing the exact same thing over here to the south and north of his base. But for now, it looks like we were going to have a bit of a scuffle here. 12 minutes in, are we going to get to see the first kill? Is anyone low on HP? One red scout. Mr. Yo pounces on it. I am impressed ad infinitum, non-stop all the time, at how these pro players manage to pick off the weaker members of the herd. Not that that's exactly what happened here with Mr. Yo drawing first blood, but MbL, or rather Mr. Yo, darting in and finding that one scout that had the lowest amount of HP, attacking it, poking out with his scout again. Okay, all of a sudden, 4 kills to 3, where literally 20 seconds ago it was 0-0. Mr. Yo, what are you going to do with the scout? Are you going to try to chase the skirmisher? Oh, you got a javelin to the face is what you're going to get. And now he's got to get the hell out of here. But to be fair, MbL needs to be a little bit careful. Never know when your opponent is leading you into a bit of a spearman trap. Oh, and all of a sudden, one super healthy scout becomes one deathbed scout. But they do get the spearman. The lion kicks in as well. And all of a sudden, we have a little bit of bedlam in the middle of the map. Is MbL okay? MbL finally secures the center of the map with his small but mighty Feudal Age army. Both players sitting at 6 villagers a pop. Have they completed their wall offs? MbL has not, even though he's seen that this is open to the north. Northeast has been secured. South secure. West secure. Not really 100% wall off here. Bit more of a funnel shape, as our Lithuanian now goes after those villagers who, to be fair, are not going to really get killed by these skirmishers. But if you can idle them, force them to run away. Villagers don't really have a fight or flight mechanic like most human beings do. They just have a flight mechanic, unless you override it with your mouse and your hotkeys and such. On the other hand, Mr. Yo, didn't mean for that to sound like Christopher Walken. Mr. Yo, his base is completely walled in, and he has created a bit of a enclave for himself. Not really leaving out too many resources to the south or the west, but I guess he doesn't really care. He's got his primary stone. He's got his primary gold. He's got a little bit of berries still left. Not that he really cares about berries at the moment. Going full on farms right now. Okay, never mind. I say that. And of course, the 2 villagers return to the ox, who should be making another appearance. There he is. This game is just, it's a very pretty game. So I do apologize. Those of you more, how do I put this? Less enamored with the graphics might find that kind of stuff annoying, but I just absolutely love it. Still no full wall off, secondary wall up going up for our Lithuanian, who is just 50 food or so shy of going up to Castle Age. Speaking of, Mysterio in the exact same position will click up. Let's see it. Let's see it. How many seconds behind? A massive 11 seconds behind his opponent. Both players 36, 37 villagers. Army counts. Not really the greatest. 7 to 9, but one player is going to go, I'm assuming, Bodkin crossbow combo. Will our Ethiopian, kind of silly not to, with the fastest firing foot archer in the game. Right now 1.7, I believe with thumb ring that does go down to Mangudai levels of 1.4 second delay. And I'm assuming now with fletching being gotten for our Lithuanian, he's going to invest a little bit more into these skirmishers and get them up to the elite version. And always fun to see Ethiopian foot archers try to take on skirmishers. Now the Lithuanian skirmisher, I've said this before, this is an absolute beast of a unit. Not only does it move 10% faster than normal from 0.96 to 1.06, which, to be fair, might not sound like much, but believe me, if you can catch up 1 tile for every 10 tiles you move across a, what is this? What are we thinking? This is about 40 tiles, 50 tiles distance. You get to your opponent about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of when everyone else does, and you can shock and awe. Not only do they move faster, but fully upgraded with tower shields. 10 pierce armor on a skirmisher. It already is hard enough for any kind of ranged unit to kill this guy, but now you add in 10 pierce armor, and oh, does he see the move out? He does now. Let's see it. Okay. Where's the elite skirmisher upgrade? There's Bodkin for red. Elite skirmisher for red. I believe I heard a horse die. There we go. Mysterio managing to pick off the last of the scouts. Bodkin for Mysterio and crossbow for Mysterio. Okay. So let's see it. Remember, they can hide behind these buttes, which is a little bit of a an interesting thing in Age of Empires, being able to hide units, not something that you normally are able to do in this game. We'll keep an eye on this chase, as it looks like a knight has appeared out of nowhere for our Ethiopians, and together with these now crossbowmen, should be able to shoo this army away, especially once he kills that one skirmisher, and therefore there's going to be 0 risk to this army. Looks like MbL tried to plop down some infrastructure, make himself at home, but Mysterio's army moved out in the nick of time to save that location from any further infrastructure. One random siege workshop. Do we think we're going to see anything out of that siege workshop? It's kind of on its own. They're undefended. Our Lithuanian continuing to double down on skirmishers. Where is the monastery? There it is, right in the forward position. So he was waiting for the monastery to clog up, to close off, to plug that empty space in front of his TC, and now both MbL and Mysterio are fully walled in. Let's see it. No upgrades for any of these knights, except that our Ethiopian has 1 armor. And unless I'm mistaken, if he can get rid of this red knight, it is bye-bye red army. But that is a big if. These are 2. Okay, never mind. I should have highlighted the HP of these 2 knights before I opened my big old mouth. But there's a full health one heading this way. Will he see the monks? He sees them. Is it too late? We'll find out as the RNG kicks in for MbL. RNG kicks in, RNG kicks out. Say RNB? Oh my goodness. Second TC for MbL. So once this completes, 100 food will get added to his coffers, whereas 2 and 3 town centers are already up for our Ethiopian, who's getting a siege workshop of his own. Okay. Sending a few crossbows to the north to explore, to see what the hell is going on. Will he see the TC? He does. So Mr. Yo has stopped training military altogether. He's ahead 6 villagers with his big eco lead of 3 town centers to currently 1. And I kind of want to keep my eye on this TC so we can see the 100 food get added to the Lithuanian, because viewers of the channel know I love to see it. 277, 387. You know, I like to watch the Bulgarian militia line mature. You know, I like to watch the Turkish, my favorite Turkish scouts become light cab, become hussars. And some of these, oh, and the Bengali feature that we saw recently in the Mr. Yo Hera game, where they get 2 villagers for free. Always nice to see these bonuses in action. Developers take a lot of time to figure them out, make them what they are. Gotta appreciate that kind of stuff. Appreciate the little things in life, you know? Like the fact that he's gonna bust into this base, but he might lose a knight for it. He's stuck around for a long time. But we've got a... Okay, never mind. I was gonna say full faith knight. Full faith monk, rather. But he was busy converting a skirmisher, and so no full faith left for you. Has brought a second one that does have full faith. So I was about to say, even if Mr. Yo loses a knight, he can try to reconvert him. Get him back, and the siege workshop flares to life as Mr. Yo's entire army is to the north, leaving MbL with absolute center map control. But I don't know, leaving a bit of an honor guard here in the center might not be enough. He's sending his skirmishers north. Does he really need these skirmishers right now? He's got knights, he's got monks. Mr. Yo's not going to risk when his army is this small. Because remember, conversions are a 2-unit swing. Right now, he's got 4 knights to 4. Ignore the skirmishers for a second. If MbL converts 1, all of a sudden becomes 3 to 5. So your opponent will have 2 more units over you, whereas before he was on par. Oh, and now Mr. Yo's losing monks. Okay, now he's got to get the hell out of here. Okay, overstayed his welcome, and I guess MbL... This is why his Elo is 27-17 and my Elo is non-existent, because he brings north the skirmishers. They gun down the monks, and now with the monks gone, this army is free to engage. But these are still 4 healthy knights. We'll see if they take a fight here. MbL also has 4 healthy knights. No high ground for Mr. Yo. Perhaps expecting his opponent not to be microing. Will he take this high ground? No. Okay. So he's not looking for an engagement right now. He's probably just going to run back. His castle is up. It's laming the siege workshop. So, where is that mangonel? Okay. Made it all the way home to that one mangonel. There is also an Ethiopian mangonel out here. Looks like 2 more monks. This time Lithuanian bite the dust. MbL has gathered 1 relic. He's seen another one here. So he's going to go up to 2 relics right now. And by the way, one thing I should point out, when you're trying to collect relics, because you're the Lithuanians, and your opponent is Mr. Yo, I mean, whether win or lose, if MbL can get 4 plus, even if MbL can get 3 relics, who's kidding who? As the Lithuanians, 2 relics puts you on par with Blast Furnace, because they are missing Blast Furnace for their melee attacks. 3 relics is pretty good. 4 relics is where you want to be. Obviously 5 relics for the gold income is amazing, but not really necessary for the knights and the cavaliers and the lechai. But if you can get even 3 relics against Mr. Yo, that is an amazing get. For now though, actually wait a second, no, he does have 3 relics. I am a caster, I swear. And so you have to remember, Mr. Yo's pushing into this base, trying to distract MbL, trying to cripple his northern palisade walls to the point where he can bust in Russian with the knights and try to get some damage done. MbL defended amazingly, while at the same time also gathering relics. That being said, Mr. Yo loses a knight, loses a second knight, loses a third knight! And that's all she wrote, and now... now he's facing a whole new can of fish. And this is a very powerful can of fish that's getting Royal Heirs. Royal Heirs is the Castle Age upgrade for the Ethiopians that will make them take 3 less damage from all mounted units, ranged or melee. And so when your opponent's knights attack on a 13, shaving that off by 3 is, what is that, a 25% reduction in the knight's attack. And there are, of course, a couple of converted knights here with +1 and sometimes even 0, I think I saw. That shaves 30% off of their attack, that upgrade. And that is amazing. Mangonel, will he survive? Probably not. Now, this is the true definition of a glass cannon, is the Shotel Warrior. Look at that base attack. 16. I believe it jumps to 18 in the elite version. But look at the armor, 0-0 base, HP of 45. Movement speed is pretty damn fast. Okay, he's heading north. Is he going to try to bust into the same location he tried to bust in earlier? Mr. Yo's got a fixation here to the north. He sees that it's just a simple row of palisades. He doesn't see the secondary house wall off. Villager enters the wrong part of town. By the way, Mysterio's got 10 villager kills as MbL is starting to add in Lechai. He's got 4 relics. He is at a +4. Might want to throw in some forging, might want to throw in some iron casting. This unit currently attacks on a 17, and that is the damage it does. -3, of course, to the Shotels. You know, Kelt eat TC, but man, Shotel eat everything. Imperial Age is mere seconds away for our Lithuanian. Mysterio's got half the food, half the gold. He does have 2 flanking castles in the forward position of his settlement. He's moving to the left with Shotels. He's moving to the right with Shotels. He's going to do his patented Mysterio Hydra attack, where he sends one head of the Hydra to the left, one head of the Hydra to the right. Loses a Shotel to a conversion. Loses a second Shotel to a conversion. Okay. Converting monks and Shotels do both bite the dust. And now he's going to discover that there's a wall off here. Oh, I think he may have seen, I mean, we saw, but did he see the tip of the mangonel? We'll see it now. And now MbL reveals that he's got Lechai. Mysterio clicks up to Imperial. He's got to kill 3 minutes. He's got to save 3 minutes. Not too sure what died. There was a blue unit that died here. Probably a villager? A Shotel warrior? Not a villager. My apologies. A villager would have shown on MbL's kill count. Probably a Shotel warrior. For those more eagle-eyed. The good thing about casting Age of Empires is because it's such an awesome community, if I miss something, you best believe one of you will have seen what that unit was. Mangonel's starting to work on these Shotels as they are absolutely just shredding through this infrastructure. My goodness. Okay, a few Shotels move to the north, kind of clump behind one another. No! That's what you get when you clump, but a villager gets converted. A villager attacks the Mangonel, and MbL's attacking the villager that's attacking the Mangonel instead of repairing the Mangonel. Will he get a second conversion here? Mr. Yo literally teefing units behind enemy lines, but no, he repairs. As much as it looks like he's literally hammering at nothing, he is in fact repairing that Mangonel. We'll keep an eye on that as the siege in the center begins. High ground, king of the hill, Lithuanian castle, trying to bust its way in here with no fewer than 3 trebs. Now, Mr. Yo, not in a great position right now. Militarily, one of his castles is being attacked. He's probably going to loot. Probably he is going to lose it. He's still 30 seconds away from Imperial. But if he brings what remains of this small Shotel army to the south, he might be able to overrun this position. At the very least, get those trebs. He is still 10 seconds away from Imperial, but unlike this castle to the south, this one is on a high hill. But I believe the trebs kind of look like they're on the same, if not higher elevation, so let's see how well these trebuchets do. Stone mining operations have ceased here for our Ethiopian. Our Lithuanian adds a second castle. He's going up to 4 castles. Mysterio, by the way, has a castle to the rear of his base. Okay, he has brought the Shotels back, and now they're elite. Now they attack on a base of 18. By the way, I should mention, fully upgraded with all 4 relics, Elatus attacks on a 22 elite. That's the same attack as a Shotel warrior. Now, the Shotel warrior obviously does not ignore armor. Here we go. Not too sure what any of that was supposed to mean, but oh my god, can you get any funner than this? Shotel's just going full frontal. 5 or 6 of them peel off to chase a single knight, but holy moly, glass cannon, not so glassy here. More like a freaking steel cannon as they overrun this position from MbL. And MbL's army count's been reset to a massive 6, 7, now 8, 9. And of course, pro players allergic to murder holes, which means this castle is in jeopardy. But look at this, a third middle castle. At the same time, though, we've got Lechai inserting themselves into the actual juicy center of the Ethiopian base. Looks like the Shotels have backed away here. And let's see what they can get accomplished. It is now MbL's turn to kill villagers. He's so far gotten 6, 7. Shotels stop the attack to the back. Will he get one more before the town center gets him? He does. Ooh, will he get another one? This is going to be close. He gets it. 9 villager kills. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, now. Michael Scott style, he has turned the flip tables or flipped the turntables. And now it is our Ethiopian who is besieging this center position. But castle is on the high ground. We've got no fewer than 3 trebs. Lion on the low ground shouldn't pose much of a problem to this Ethiopian villager. MbL spending a good amount of stone, so much so that he's about to run out of stone. And 1, 2, 3, 4 go the balls. And with the fall of the right, with the fall of that one castle, Orion's belt has fallen. I always whenever I mention Orion's belt, always try to make a note for myself to remember the names of the stars that make up Orion's belt. I can never remember. There's All in Attack, I think, is one of them, but I can never remember. First of all, I don't even know that's right. But they're very odd names. It's not like, you know, Ceres or Alpha, whatever, Omega, whatever. It's an odd set of names, 3 names, but every time someone builds 3 of anything in a row like this, and my natural instinct is to talk about Orion's belt, which don't ask me why I'm so focused on Orion's belt. I always make a note to myself to write down the names of the 3 stars, but then I always forget. Like I said, All in Attack I think is one of them, but are we gearing up to see an absolute massive, incredible elite Shotel versus elite Lechai battle? And if the answer is yes, please do not do it behind a structure. Please do it out in the open for all of us to see. 33 Lechai, 62 Shotels. Mysterio, though, he's preparing a bit of a transition behind this. Okay, so what's the name of the game here? He's at 200 population. Is he just gonna throw away these Shotels, follow it up with a halberdier push? Whatever the latest doesn't kill. Oh my god, look at this mass exodus of red villagers. Absolutely getting gunned down by these Shotel warriors. Single monk trying to change the tide of battle. Holy moly. Will he get the convert? He does not. I mean, we've seen some big battles lately. Yesterday's game with Survivalists and the Bloodless, I mean, that was just an absolute banger of a game. But this is something else. This is, like I said, is it? Yeah, no, he doesn't have iron casting yet. Not that he really needs it. And here we go, meat shield the villagers. Oh, maybe I got confused there. Wow, I'm just gonna shut up and let this play out. I mean, blue's gonna get slaughtered, but let's watch it. Oh my god, what did he lose, like 10 Lechai? Holy shit. And as good as that first engagement was, where he got the castle, the army in front of the castle rather, that engagement was just absolute abysmal for Mysterio. That being said, like I noticed earlier, there's a halberdier transition here, and the same upgrades that apply to the Shotels apply to the halberdiers, so they are going to come out, they're going to get birthed, fully upgraded. Lechai again. Looks like 3 villager kills to the south, a few villager kills to the north. Uh-oh, nothing's here to contest it. Never mind, 4 halberdiers are moving forward. Looks like a battle to the top right of the minimap as well. I don't know what small micro battle to follow here, but MbL's got 21 villager kills all of a sudden, and his Lechai are not done. They're back. How healthy are these? Two of them are basically dead. One is full health. They are gunning down more villagers. 25, 27. Full health one remains. Oh. A little bit confused. Doesn't know what to do. Do I attack the one to the left? Do I attack the one on the right? Doesn't really matter. He gets another villager. MbL all of a sudden takes a 35 to 29 villager kill. Looks like Mysterio did clean up the Lechai force to the right side of the minimap. And here we go. Now he's just going to be able to throw trash at this Lithuanian army. But hey, you know, if you throw trash at the Lithuanians, they've got one of the world's best elite skirmishers here. And out they come. Still needs chemistry, I believe. Yeah, he's getting chemistry right now. Bosa is an upgrade that MbL probably should have gotten a little bit earlier, but now that he's more focused on wood, it's excused. It's excused. You were focused more on your Lechai earlier. Castle being rebuilt to the southern anchor, the northern anchor. Castle is still up. Mysterio has 8 villagers on stone. He still has 3 castles up. His Shotels are back for round number 3. Herbal medicine. How many injured Lechai does our Lithuanian have? Oh, he's got a whole bunch of injured Lechai. Stuck a bunch of full health ones in the castle, which is a little weird, seeing as how there are a few injured ones here as well. And it took 3 tries, but the Shotels are inside. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a greeting committee that is greeting them not with really open arms, more like arms carrying swords that ignore their armor. Not that the armor on a Shotel warrior is very good. The elite does have 1 pierce armor, which is not really going to help. 1 base pierce armor, which is not really going to help against the Lechai. And I'm going to have to zoom out here because skirmishers on the high ground are taking out these halberdiers. Mysterio's army is a little back asswards. The Shotels should probably be here attacking the skirmishers, and the halbs should be on the left side attacking the Lechai. These two have managed to bust their way in, but they're not really doing much except continuing to attack some infrastructure. And Mysterio's got outposts everywhere. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see for the Ethiopian. And army counts are still in the 60s. My hands are in the air. I'm so excited. My fists are clenched. There's tower shields, the golden crown of the Lithuanians. Now, a lot of the army count, half of the army count, actually 75% of the army count for the Lithuanian is in skirmishers. But that's okay, because half the army count for Mysterio is in halberdiers. And yet again, a couple of Lechai to the left. A pair? No, not a pair. 3 Lechai to the right. We'll keep an eye on those. These guys, mission accomplished. Destroyed a couple of houses. Made a couple of villagers homeless. Now they're just kind of hanging out. Resting on them laurels. And these spearman line units do not stand a chance against the absolute beast of a Lithuanian skirmisher, who now with 10 pierce armor, Huskarl level pierce armor, Rattan Archer level pierce armor, they can park their asses underneath this castle all the livelong day. Unfortunately, MbL lost his second last castle. He's only got 1 left here. What is this? This is an outpost as well for Mysterio. Both players desperate for resources, reaching out to the exact same location. It is MbL who sends a bit of an army first. And oh no, these are going to be a lot of dead blue villagers here. Ooh, but Mysterio reacts. Is he running into the 2 Shotels? Oh, luckily for him, he's got 2 full health Shotels here. Luckily, we'll see what they can do against 2 full health Lechai. Probably not too much. Okay. Just kind of letting them die. These two are having a smoke break. There's a, you know, between the hours of 12 and 3, don't bother us. We are not going to come to your help. We are not going to save you. We're on our lunch break. Our union told us we have to take a lunch break. I see the chemtrails of a hand cannoneer lasting about 5 whole seconds before the Shotel Halb combo guns it down. Not a bad idea to go hand cannoneers. You do have 1100 gold. Need a bit more food in the bank, though. It does come with a plus 10 attack bonus against the infantry, which will help against the Shotels. Now, to be fair, skirmishers are not terrible against the Shotel warrior because its pierce armor is 5. which is decent against a skirmisher, but it's only got 50 HP. And so you do 2 damage. You need 25 skirmishers to one-shot, and he's got 29. Mr. Yo says enough's enough. I'm just going to secure the stone and the gold with a castle here. And our Lithuanian is still on 1 castle. Again, for the longest time, 0 villagers on stone. And he cannot be affording to lose these late chai, even 1 here, 1 there. Oh, these 2 guys get activated, and they are moving south. Another band is moving to the north. I could have just run through here, I guess. All of a sudden, mini action all over the map. MbL is adding hand cannoneers. They do have a good amount of skirmishers to support, and with hand cannoneers, these shotels are basically going to be running to their death. The death animation of a running shotel is amazing, and the full frontal of a hand cannoneer, they just fall to their knees, they die. Let's see it if we can. Oh, I hate it when it's behind buildings, you can't see it. So shotel's engaging into late chai here, a single shotel. His partner in crime either went somewhere else or died. Is getting now 5 villager kills. Both players not exactly the highest rating army counts. Sending 2 units here, 1 unit here. Okay, but Mysterio's rating has stopped. His army has been cleared out, and he is now sitting at 67 halberdiers, 27 shotels, or I should say 24, because he's at 200 population. MbL is down 70 population. He needs to mass up his army for 1 big, massive fight and hope that he can dislodge this Ethiopian. Otherwise, as crappy as halberdiers are, as awesome as a skirmisher with an attack bonus of +4 against the halb is, you are just going to get overwhelmed by 62 halberdiers. I mean, numbers are still numbers. Oh, but there's most of the very powerful army here is to the south. And in the meantime, Mr. Yo's kind of just losing units. Now he's down 20 population, and just like that, MbL's up 20 population. All of a sudden, there's only a 30 population difference between the 2 players. Sing, grenized, attack. Kind of, but not really, as the shotels take down a town center. Next target is the castle. Not that MbL is really training that many late chai out of this castle. And the flaming javelins, we'll see how well they can do here. Like I said, I believe you need 25 skirmishers to one-shot, and MbL has 29. Oh, another body of infantry moves to the right. So again, not the strongest of armies with so many halberdiers thrown in, but Mr. is still at 34 shotels. They're still 30 gold each, and the castle survives with 640 HP. This town center unfortunately does not. MbL's been knocked down to 1 TC. He is building a second one up here. Damn you, Mill. I will not. I will be damned if I allow you to gather food under my watch, says our Ethiopian, who has clawed his way back up to 200 population. Added in 10 more shotels, 10 fewer halbs. And again, just a tinkle, slowly but surely. Oh, the castle's being repaired. MbL had to sell 800 resources just to afford 100 stone. And it doesn't matter 1 bit. The castle falls. That is a psychological blow to the nuts. After selling 800 resources, bankrupting your entire economy just to get that castle to survive. And it falls nonetheless. And that, like I said, is just an absolute, oh goodness. I don't want to get any more crass, but I said what I said. I meant it. And wow, what a ridiculously fun game. Look at the kill count. Mysterio's killed 157 villagers to 72. Total kill count is almost 1,100. Well over 1,000 deaths for our entertainment, an hour and 6 minutes. And despite a bunch of small little raids over here and over here, over here and over here, really, the major engagements were just full frontal. And what the hell did we witness with 40 plus late chai charging into 60 plus or 50 or 60 plus elite Shotel warriors. I wish I took a note of the timestamp. I would rewind and watch that battle again. That was just an absolute epic battle. You best believe there's going to be a short of that coming out in the next couple of weeks. And holy moly, what a fun game. But ultimately, it is the prescience of Mr. Yo. He had these barracks up while he still had a massive Shotel army. Keep that in mind. This wasn't a, I'm going to lose my army and then build the infrastructure and hope you don't attack me. No, this is, I still have an army. I'm still fighting you. I'm engaged in the various parts of the map. And at the same time, just as a precaution, in case you take the better engagements, your Lechai might kill my army once. Your Lechai might survive to kill it maybe a second time. But you best believe the third time, when their HP is down to in the 30s and 40s and 70s and 20s, that the halberdiers are going to come in clutch. And how many halbs did he end up training? 266, but look at the numbers. 360 Shotels, 120 Lechai, Monsieur PKPM. Okay, 9 minutes in. So I'm still working on my hypothesis that if Myslio's PKPM is not at the 11 seconds mark of the game, he will win the game. So I guess in theory, this is this kind of proves the hypothesis, at least in a very small sample size of this specific game. PKPM for both players, one in the beginning of the game, one right at the end of the game. But holy moly, let's take a look at the resources. Yeah, our Ethiopian just, what is that, 17,000 or so resources ahead. But look at the extra gold that our Lithuanian got. He basically made up for the map control that he ceded to the Ethiopian. Because MbL, for all that his base is large and in charge, it is kind of stuck in a corner here on 1/5 to 1/6 of the map, whereas Mr. Yo has free reign on the entirety of the south, of the north, and if he so wished, the east, if there was anything here to get. I guess there is still a bit of gold. But MbL more than made up for that with 4,300 relic gold, and ultimately that does get him to take more gold, but everything else goes to our Ethiopian. 15 conversions out of 588 army count is just under, what, 2.5%? 5 conversions, not even less than 2%. So neither player really converting that much of their opponent's army just by virtue of how big the armies were. 38 raisings, 39 losses tells me that MbL may have destroyed one of his own buildings. I don't know exactly what the my brain sometimes can't figure out on the fly what these numbers mean, but MbL destroyed 5 buildings. Oh yeah, that makes sense. He destroyed 5 buildings. 4 of them were Mr. Yo's, and one of them was his. Mr. Yo destroyed 38 buildings. All of them were MbL's. Well, there you go. I didn't really need to self-deprecate myself that much. I figured that out pretty damn quick. And holy moly, the scores not that far apart. About what is that? 13% score difference. And what a hard fought battle at the end of the day. MbL just transitioning to skirmishers. I wonder why they didn't do that well. I suspect it's because Mr. Yo continued to throw in vast numbers of Shotels. If he had 5 Shotels, 10, 15 Shotels, maybe the skirmishers could have done a better job. But because he always had 24, 33, now 36 Shotels, it really did help take out the skirmisher numbers. And with those dead skirmishers, then the Shotels and the Halbs could basically run amok, do whatever the hell they wanted to the settlement. And finally, it took 3 tries, but he did bust in. But a bit of a Pyrrhic victory, since those Shotels that busted in met their deaths basically instantaneously. Kudos to Mr. Yo for also taking this position with a castle, whereas MbL had no stone for the longest time. And that last maneuver there of selling 400 just to be able to buy 100 stone, loses the castle literally seconds later with 56 of that 100 still in his pocket. That is just too much for MbL. And even though he not really relying on castles anymore, mostly on archery ranges, which he's only got 3. Well, there you go. Maybe if he had 5 or 6 more archery ranges here to the back, I could see him maybe sticking around a little bit longer, a bit more tenacious, a bit more stubborn mule strategy. But no, with only 3 archery ranges, all of them under enemy occupation right now, literally behind enemy lines. And Mr. Yo, surprisingly, not going for the relics. Although, is it a surprise? He doesn't see a single heavy cavalry unit, doesn't see a single Latus on the battlefield, and so figures, why the hell not? Unless, you just don't want to give your opponent 4,000 gold. But at the end of the day, holy moly, what an absolute banger of a game. Both players full frontaling one another with small little attempts to kill villagers, which does net after an hour. What is that? A total of almost 230 dead villagers. And ultimately, Mr. Yo, with that amazing mixture of Halberdier, Shotel Warrior, this is a counter to the heavy cavalry. It's a counter to the skirmishers. And unless he had like 10 or 15 hand cannoneers and a meat shield, which to be fair, the Lithuanians can get their own meat shield. Their infantry, not exactly the most powerful, missing blast furnace in the final armor upgrade, but their halberdiers do move a little bit faster than normal. Like again, I said, 10% could get extra pierce armor. Not that he would need it here, but maybe that would have changed things. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Hindsight's always 20/20. In this universe, in this particular matchup, it is Mr. Yo who crushes the Orion's belt, and I'm going to make a note for myself to look at those 3 stars again, and I'm probably going to forget to look at that note, so it is what it is. Who crushes through the center and with the multi-pronged attacks, while himself suffering multi-pronged attacks by Lechai, who takes the W in a ridiculously fun, hard-fought battle with over 1,000 kills in an hour. But truly, what an epic game. GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.